All right, let's talk about something huge. In a world where AI seems to have all the answers, what does it even mean to be an expert anymore? I mean, the whole idea of professional knowledge is being completely upended right before our eyes. So yeah, let's dive into this. To really get where we're going, we have to look at where we've been. And this quote, it just perfectly sums up the old way of thinking. Not that long ago, being an expert, a professor, a lawyer, you name it, it meant you were the one who had all the information locked away in your head. You were basically a walking, talking encyclopedia.
And then, bam! It feels like it happened almost overnight. The one thing an expert was supposed to do, give you the answers, well, that job got outsourced to a machine. Now, if you want to know something, you don't call a professor, you just ask an AI. And that one little shift, well, it changes absolutely everything.
Which leads us to the big, central question for today. If the AI has the answers, what is the point of a human expert? I mean, really, what is their value now? Why do we even need them? So let's see how this is all playing out in the real world. Because this isn't just some idea floating around in the clouds. It's already changing how professionals and their clients work together every single day. Let's get really specific for a second. Picture a super high-stakes situation. You've got a corporate director, and their company is the target of a hostile takeover. In the past, their very first move would have been a frantic search for the best merger and acquisitions lawyer they could possibly find.
See, yesterday, that director would walk into the lawyer's office with just one thing, a problem. But today they walk in with that same problem and a whole folder full of potential answers they already got from ChatGPT or Gemini. They're not coming in empty-handed anymore.
This table just nails the entire shift. The old-school pros value was in giving the answers. The modern pros value, it's about building a strategy with the answers the client already has. It's about using judgment, experience, and foresight, all the stuff an AI just doesn't have. So the role has changed from being the only source of knowledge to being an expert second opinion, the person who asks, okay, but are these the right answers to the right questions?
And hey, don't think for a second this is just for fancy corporate lawyers. This exact same thing is happening everywhere. When you call a plumber these days, chances are you've already Googled the leaky pipe, you've watched a few YouTube videos, you have some idea of what's going on. The expert isn't starting from zero anymore.
So, okay, if the old model is broken, what comes next? This brings us to a new way of looking at education and building your skills, one that puts you firmly in control.
Let's introduce a key idea for this new world, the driver. That's the modern learner. That's you. You're not just some passive passenger anymore, waiting for the expert to tell you where to go. No, you are actively using all the tools you've got, and yes, that includes AI, to chart your own course.
And here it is, the most important point of all. The new critical skill isn't about knowing a bunch of facts. It's about knowing how to ask really good questions. It's not just what, but why and what if. It's about figuring out how to prompt an AI, how to challenge what it tells you, and how to frame a problem the right way from the start. That is the new superpower.
So what does this actually look like in practice? Well, a fantastic example is something we can call a feedback loop model. And it basically turns learning into this engine for building real expertise. Let's take a look at the Webo DIY Academy, because they've built their entire system around this. They see the business owner as the driver, and their agency, they're the mechanic, the expert who helps you navigate and fix things, not the one who just drives the car for you.
The very first principle here is flexibility. This is not your old high school classroom where everyone has to move at the same speed. The Webo model is built for individuals, for drivers, to go at their own pace. You are in control of the journey.
And this shows you the engine that makes the whole thing run. It's the Webo feedback loop. So first, you, the driver, you go and explore. You use the course materials, you query AI, you do your own research. Second, when you hit a wall or have a question, you bring it to the live strategy sessions with the expert mechanics. But here's the really cool part. Step 3. Webo takes your questions and uses them to make the course better for everyone. So you are literally helping to build the curriculum as you go. And you're not just driving out there all alone. You get a whole toolkit for the trip. Think of it like the mechanic's shop. You get the entire roadmap right from the start. You've got topic blogs for specific questions, weekly webinars for those live strategy sessions, and even online rooms to connect with other drivers on the same road. It's a whole support system designed for this new way of learning.
Okay, so let's zoom back out for a minute. What a model like this really shows us is the future, not just for education, but really for all expert services. It's a fundamental rewiring of what we think is valuable.
And look,
If you only take one thing away from our time together today, please let it be this. Expertise is no longer about the static library of facts that you've got stored in your brain. It's a dynamic process. It's all about your ability to adapt, to ask questions, to build a strategy, and to learn in real time using every tool you can get your hands on.
So, the final question really is for you. The tools are here. The old models are changing. Sitting in the passenger seat just isn't an option anymore. The only question left is, are you ready to get behind the wheel?